Open your book to page 12.
Today's lesson is about the slope of a line and the angle of inclination. The definition of inclination, if you look on page 12, is the smallest angle between the x-axis and the line. So for example, if you have a line going something like this, so angle of inclination is from the x-axis to the line. So here's your angle theta. So basically looking for angle theta. Now if the line is going like this way over here, then the angle theta would be from here to here. Again, it's always starting from the x-axis to the line. So here's your angle theta. So angle of inclination basically is the angle theta that you have. And the next one, if you look at on page 13, the definition 1.5, the slope. The slope of the line is a tangent of the inclination. So basically, what it's saying is that the slope, so if you have a line, right, so slope, so what it's saying is that tangent theta is equal to slope. Okay, so that's what it's saying, definition 1.5. Okay, so now let's go to page 14. So page 14, theorem 1.2. It says two non-vertical lines are parallel if and only if their slopes are equal. Okay, so if you got two lines like this, and let's say this slope equal to 3/5, and this one slope equal to 3/5. So when two lines have the same slope, when they are equal, then they are parallel, and vice versa. Okay, if they are parallel, then their slope would be equal. Now, so a lot of these are kind of quick review. So if you go to page 15, here is the formula for the slope. So slope equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so if you have a line, and here's your point 1, here's your point 2, so that's your x1, y1, here's your x2, y2. So the slope would be, again, so y2 minus y1 is y2 minus y1, so it's the vertical over here. Okay. If I call this a and b, so this will equal to b over a. Okay. And notice what this is, tangent, right? This is equal to tangent theta, right? Okay. So again, so y2 minus y1, that's your vertical distance, that's b. x2 minus x1 is x2 minus x1, right? The end minus the beginning will give you the distance a. And so that is so again, that's what we're talking about earlier, right? Slope equal to tangent theta. Okay. That's where it came from. Okay, now let's go to page 17. I'm going to go to the formula first. So we covered earlier, right? If two lines are parallel, then M1 equal to M2, right? Now on page 17, there is another formula. That's for perpendicular line. So if it's perpendicular, then M2 equal to -1 over M1. So if it's parallel, the slope will be equal. If it's perpendicular, the slope will be negative reciprocal of each other. Okay. An example of that would be, okay, so if M2 equal to like 2/3, then M1 equal to -3/2, right? Negative reciprocal. Then, therefore, M1 would be perpendicular to M2. Okay, so again, it's just an example. Now, the one that's a little bit more complicated is theorem 1.4. So theorem 1.4. Yeah. This is to figure out the angle between two lines. So you have tangent phi equal to M2 minus M1 over 1 plus M1 M2. Now this came from the sum identity for tangent. Okay. So what this is for is, let's say if you have, okay, so here's your x y-axis, right? And you have two lines. Let's say if you have one line over here and you have another line going like this. So I'm going to call this L1, this is L2, so line 1, line 2. The angle phi is the angle between the two lines. So what you want to do with this is, you want to use this point as your reference. Okay? And so this would be your theta 1 or angle 1, and this would be theta 2. Okay? So from here you can see that the angle phi, so angle phi is equal to theta 2 minus theta 1. Right? Right? So again, this angle theta 2 minus theta 1 will give you phi. Then what you do is you take the tangent on both sides. So tangent phi equal to tangent of theta 2 minus theta 1. I take a tangent on both sides. And so this is the difference identity. Okay? I take it back. Earlier as I mentioned is the difference identity. So tangent phi, so using the difference identity, you get tangent theta 2 minus tangent theta 1 over 1 plus tangent theta. Okay, since a multiplication, so I'm going to switch it around. So technically it's theta 2 and tangent theta 1, right? But remember this is switchable, right? And again, using the definition, remember tangent is what? From what we learned earlier, right? Tangent is the slope. So tangent theta 2 is m2. Tangent theta 1 is m1. 1 plus, and I'm going to put this in the correct order to be m1, m2. It doesn't matter which, if you go m2, m1, it's fine. So that's where this formula came from the difference identity from the tangent. Okay. Now, this formula is kind of, it's not that difficult to memorize, just if you remember your tangent identity for difference, okay? But this, you only use this if they ask you for exact number. If they want you to use decimal, then it's much easier. You just go and you know, just use. You can just use just go and figure out the theta 2 and then figure out theta 1 and just subtract. So use this one here. Okay. So use your m2, right? You take it. So from here, right? Remember, tangent theta 2 equal to m2, right? So you can figure out the slope 2 and use a second tangent, you can figure out theta 2. And same thing, tangent theta 1 equal to m1. So figure out the slope, you take the second tangent, you can get theta 1, and you just subtract, and you can get that already without going all these. So again, use these only if they ask you for exact number, like using the square roots. Okay. If they ask you to approximate like using decimal, then it's much quicker if you use this technique. Okay, so let's go over some example. Oh, by the way, make sure you go clockwise, go to counterclockwise. Okay, so you're always going this direction. So the first one is 1. So like this. See, this is L1, L2. Okay, let's go to example 4. Okay, example 4, it says find the tangent of the angle. That means the fraction. Okay, make sure you know the difference between the angle and the tangent of the angle. Tangent of the angle means the fraction, whereas the angle means they're looking for degrees. Okay, that's what it. So make sure you know the difference between the two. So example 4. So you got 3 points A, B, C, right? And you're looking for angle A, angle B, angle C. So first, it would be a good idea to go and sketch these things out. Okay, so let's go and sketch it out. So point A is 3, negative 2. So point A is 3, negative 2. And point B is negative 5, 8. So B is negative 5, 8. And point C is 4, 5. Is 4, 5. Okay, so first what you need to do is, since they ask you for the tangents of the angle, means they're looking for fractions, so you need to do the exact, you have to use that formula. You have to use tangent phi equal to the m2 minus m1 over 1 plus m1 m2. So you have to use that formula because they ask you for tangents of the angle. Okay. So this one actually has 6 parts. So this point has 6 parts that you have to do. Okay, so first, let's go ahead and let's go and do angle A. Remember, you always have to go counterclockwise, right? So for angle A, you have to go this way. But first, let's go and find all the slope. So this slope is going to be equal to the y2 minus y1, so equal to 7. Okay, y2 minus y1. You always try to use the point more on the right side as a point 2. Okay, so this minus side will give you 1. Okay, so that's your slope over here. Now for this slope over here, okay, again, y2 minus y1 should be negative 3. y2 minus y1 will give you 9. So this will equal to negative 1/3. Okay, and this one over here, slope, again, is y2 minus y1, so it will be negative 10. y2 minus y1 will give you 8. So m equal to negative 5 over 4. So first, go and get all these. Now for angle A, so let's do angle A. So for angle A, in this case, you're going to get tangent of A is equal to, now M2 is the one more on the end, right? So M2 is going to be over here. Again, so it's equal to M2 minus M1 over 1 plus M1, M2, right? So in this case, that's going to be your M1, this is going to be your M2. So tangent A equal to M2 equal to negative 5 over 4 minus 7 over 1. It's okay, you can leave it in a fraction, over 1 plus negative 5 over 4, 7 over 1. And then you can use your use your complex fraction technique, right? So multiply everything by 4. Multiply everything by 4. So tangent A equal to negative 5 minus 28 over 4 minus, this cancels out, 35. So tangent A equal to negative 33 over negative 31. So tangent A equal to 33 over 31. So this is called a tangent of the angle. So that's one of the things you have to find. Next, you need to go and find the angle A. So again, this is tangent of the angle. This is the angle. So you got to, they ask you to find both. So use your calculator and you go second. So enter this and you go second tangent and you get 47 degrees. Okay. Now let's go and do B. So for angle B, so angle B is right over here. So again, you make sure you go counterclockwise. You have to go this way now. Okay, again, you always have to go counterclockwise. So tangent B, again, is equal to M2 minus M1 over 1 plus M2 M1. So tangent B is equal to, Now for this one, this is going to be M2 for angle B now. So M2 is this one. So it's negative 1 over 3 minus negative 5 over 4 over 1 plus negative 1 over 3, negative 5 over 4. So again, to simplify complex fraction, you multiply everything by common denominator. So multiply by 3 and 4, multiply by 3 and 4, multiply by 3 and 4, multiply by 3 and 4. Right? So the 3 cancels out, so you get negative 4. The 4 cancels out, negative and negative become plus. 3 times 5 is 15. This one, 3 times 4 is 12. Now you got minus, minus, plus, will give you plus. 3 cancel out with 3, 4 cancel out with 4, so you get 5. So tangent B is equal to 11 over 17. Okay, so that's the tangent of angle B, and you're looking for angle B also. So you can use your second tangent of that. You get 33 degrees. Okay. And you just do the same thing for the angle C. Just go through the same process. So for angle C, this would be your M1, this would be your M2, and just go through the same thing. Okay. And you can check your answer very quick, right? You can make sure that 3 angles will add up equal to 180, right? So after you do the angle C, okay. So after you do that, you're going to see that the tangent C equal to negative 22 over 4. Again, this you do it yourself. And angle C equal to 100 degrees. Okay, and check your answer very quickly by adding the 3 angles together. So angle A plus angle B plus angle C should add up equal to 180. Now sometimes because of running off error, it may be off by 1 degree. Sometimes you may get 101, sometimes you can make 179 because running off. But you should be about pretty close, within plus or minus 1 of the running, if you run it off. Okay, again, all 3 angles should add equal to 180. Okay.